In some of the previous videos, I already gave some examples on how the NumPy array can be useful to do comparison operations and Boolean operations on an element-wise basis. Let's now use this knowledge on the pandas data frame. For starters, let's import the bricks dataset again from the CSV file. Here it is. Suppose you now want to keep the countries, so the observations in this case, whose area is greater than 8 million square kilometers. There's 3 steps to this. First of all, we want to get the area column from bricks. Next, we perform the comparison on this column and store its result. Finally, we should use this result to do the appropriate selection on the data frame. So the first step, getting the area column from bricks. There are many different ways to do this. What's important here is that we ideally get a pandas series, not a pandas data frame. Let's try this with simple square brackets, like this. This lock alternative and this ilock version would also work perfectly fine. Next, we actually perform the comparison. To see which rows have an area greater than 8, we simply append greater than 8 to the code from before, like this. Now we get a series containing booleans. If you compare it to the actual area of values, you can see that the areas with a value over 8 correspond to true, and the ones with a value under 8 correspond to false now. Let me store this boolean series as isHuge. The final step is using the boolean series to subset the pandas data frame. This is something I haven't showed you yet. You simply pass isHuge inside square brackets. The result is exactly what we want. Only the countries with an area greater than 8, namely Brazil, Russia and China, are kept. So let's summarize this. I selected the area column, performed the comparison on this column, and then stored it as isHuge so that I can use it to index the bricks data frame. These different commands do the trick. However, we can also do this with a one-liner. Simply put the code that defines isHuge directly inside the square brackets. Great! Now, we haven't used Boolean operators yet. Remember that we used this logical AND function from the NumPy package to do an element-wise Boolean operation on NumPy arrays? Because pandas is built on NumPy, we can also use that function here. Suppose you only want to keep the observations that have an area between 8 and 10 million square kilometers. After importing NumPy as NP, we can use the logical AND function to create a Boolean series. The only thing left to do is placing this code inside square brackets to subset bricks appropriately. This time only Brazil and China are included. Russia has an area of 17 million square kilometers, which doesn't meet the conditions. I hope these examples have shown you how easy it is to filter data frames to get interesting results. Get some hands-on experience in the exercises yourself.